I'm not quite finished with the Betty Boop project, but I'm getting there. It's almost done. There's her bootay. I'm just so exhausted. I'm ready for this to be over with. This looks weird, but that's how it's... Oh no, this is... I just need to connect these two, but this is the way it looks on the pattern. Except I put white there. Okay, well, there's another one that I have to fix. There's the finger, and see, I've got to connect all these black squares, which I'll just tie them together with a piece of black yarn. And my aunt told me, don't worry about this. This is supposed to be her finger. She said, don't worry about it. She'd rather it look like she's like holding her hands in a fist, or not a fist, but you know, like lacing her fingers together rather than making a gun. But now I see that I made a mistake right here. I'll have to cover that in with the peach, light peach. But other than that, I've made very few mistakes. I mean, this where these are like not connected, you know, if I were going in this direction, then they would all be connected. Like, see, I went in this direction, these are all connected. So I'm going to have to take a strand, a black strand, and just like go like that to connect those. Just when I go to tuck that in, just tie it around inside there to connect those black squares. And I'm going to have a lot of tucking to do. See, like these have to be tucked. So. But I mean, this is the first time I've ever done this pattern, so it's, you know, to be expected that I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes. Not the pattern, this type of crochet style, corner to corner. I've never done this before, so you know, it's to be expected that I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes, and nobody's perfect. So, and I can't believe this is a queen size. I told my aunt it would be something that she could wear on the couch, or not wear, but you know, like keep her warm on the couch. This is more for a bed, and it's heavy. Oh my goodness, it is a beast. But it's pretty cool. There's like a little heart on her leg. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with it, and I cannot wait for it to be finished. I'm so done with this thing. I mean, I'm so over it. So I have about, I would guess a good, let me turn this light on. I have another 2 weeks to get this finished, and before I leave for Oregon. And sorry about the movement. I have another 2 weeks, but I would guess I have another week on this project. My hands are just jacked up. I cannot wait to finish. I have a TENS unit, and I've been using that to massage my hands electronically. You put the pad on both sides of the wrist. I'm holding the phone, so I can't show with my finger. So I have to I put the pad on the front and the back of my wrist, and the TENS unit does the rest and massages my hand with like electric pulses, and I have a living room project too, which I'm not going to go show right away. I'll show it when it's finished. But it's it's another corner to corner project, but it's like it's a baby blanket, and it's a teddy bear. I have it in the living room because I don't want to, get all the yarn balls mixed in together, and so I didn't want to just come with one present, and I'm going to make my cousin's wife a scarf. Yeah, let me get the yarn to show. So this is the yarn. It's homespun thick and quick. It's really it's really cool. And I'm going to use this blue one to make the scarf. I've used that to make scarves before in the past, and it really comes out nice. It looks knitted, but actually with this stuff you're not even going to see the stitches because it's going to be, I'm out of breath for some reason. It's going to be so fluffy that you're not even going to be able to see the stitches, and it's going to look knitted. I mean, if you could see the stitches, it would be knitted. I love using these looms. It's much easier to make a scarf with. I'm going to use a smaller one because I've only got this one skein, and this actually left over from another project a couple years ago. We went to San Diego, and my partner wanted me to make a scarf for his cousin, and he wanted a large scarf, so I had to use, I think I used the red one, and I think I had to use like 2 skeins of this stuff. I don't remember, but I'm going to use the blue one because it's she doesn't need it to be that big. So I'd love to have one of those, hand crank ones. You can just crank it out, but I think this yarn is too thick for those things. I think you have to use really thin yarn for those hand crank ones. I'm so exhausted. Christmas is exhausting, especially for a crafter. If I were buying the gifts, that would be one thing. I could just buy them and be done with it, but I'm making gifts. I mean, that's just a lot of work. A lot more work than most people would be willing to do for a gift, but I'm not most people. So I'm going to be bringing a book with me on the train to Oregon. It's called the Belgariad. I have volume 1 and volume 2, which has basically, the first volume has 3 books in it. The second volume has 2 books in it. But I honestly don't think that I'm going to have enough time to read the whole, all 3 books of the first volume. I've already read the first book, the Belgariad. So I'm going to be reading the second book on the train, and I'm sure I'll be reading it, I'm sure that I'll probably still be reading it by the time I get home. It's a big book. So, let me show you. So here's volume 1. And the first book I already read is called Pawn of Prophecy. The second book is Queen of Sorcery. The second book is Magician's Gambit. And then here's the second volume of the Belgariad. It's upside down. And this one has 2 books, The Castle of Wizardry and Enchanter's Endgame. These are books that my aunt and uncle from Texas suggested that I read. And it took me a long time to finally read the first one, Pawn of Prophecy. It was really difficult to read, but I was able, once I got started, it was like I couldn't put it down, and it was easy to read. It just, takes a while to get your footing, to get used to it, used to the writing, the style, I guess. Once you get used to it, then it pretty much flows from there. So, yeah, I'm really exhausted mentally and kind of physically, my hand, but mentally because of, the election and Negan, The Walking Dead. Oh my God. I still haven't watched last night's episode because I just can't deal with Negan right now. It's on my DVR. I'll watch it when I watch it. I've just got so much on my mind right now. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and if you watched all the way to the end, bless you. Talk to you next time.